Hi folks, Greeno here, out and about again. As you can see, it's a glorious day. I'm in Weymouth now. Whether it will continue to be a glorious day or not remains to be seen. I'm here at the Brewer's Fayre. You can see a sign for it just over my shoulder there. They're not known for being the greatest quality. A lot of them are attached to Premier Inns, ally themselves to that. No, I don't mind a Premier Inn, they're fine. But this is where you'll quite often end up for your breakfast if you're staying there. Now, obviously this operates as a pub, restaurant, the rest of the day. They're open for lunch, open all day long in fact, for dinner. And some of them have got kids play areas inside, soft play, which this one has. But the reason I'm here is not to go climbing round and going down slides. This place has got what I think are the worst Google reviews of any pub restaurant in Dorset. Certainly the worst I can find. Got a 3.1 rating. Now, that sounds pretty poor to me. Lots of different complaints about various different aspects of the service here, so we're going to go in and see if that is justified or not. Wish me luck. Come on, let's go and have a look. Right then folks, so I've come in and I found myself a table. Gotta say it feels a little bit sticky, but it might just be the actual cleaning solution that's used on it rather than any leftover residue from previous guests at the table. It's not terribly busy, it's probably about 20% of the table's full at the moment. I'm here at just after 1:30 on a weekday lunchtime, so you might not expect it to be that busy. A couple of things to note right from the outset. Where there should have been a menu outside, there is no menu, just an empty glass case. There is a sign saying that you can get 3 hours free parking, but it's quite confusing because there are two car parks either side of the pub. One is for the Premier Inn, which this is next to, and one is a council car park. Now it does just say that there's 3 hours of free parking. I did check and clarify as I came in which car park that applied to. I was parked in the wrong one. So if I just put my number plate in, there could have been problems. I might have ended up with a parking ticket, even though I thought I was safe. So definitely something to be aware of. The table I've sat at is next to a little some banisters here, as you can see. And down on here, it's quite sticky, and there's bits of Christmas decoration stuck into that. So I do wonder how often that gets cleaned. You're about halfway through January at the time of recording, and there's little bits of Christmas decoration stuck to the wood. Probably been taken down over a week ago, so that's slightly concerning, I suppose. But what I will say is the restaurant area is neat and tidy. No tables that are unclean or anything in terms of glasses and plates left on there. It's all been taken care of. Some of the upholstery looks a little tired. I can see a seat right in front of me, which I'll try and get on the camera in a second, which has seen better days, shall we say. Anyway, we're here to talk about the food as much as that, aren't we? So quite an extensive menu here, lots of different things on here, pub classics, grills, curries. You can create your own pizza, there's fish and chips, something for everyone, I guess. This kind of place, it is a chain, isn't it? So it's all going to be stuff that's just brought in and reheated in the kitchen. We know that from the outset. Relatively cheap, not crazy cheap though, but not too bad. One thing I will say though, is they do have a deal on where there are value meals available. You can actually get main meals for £5 each. Now they are very, very cheap. Who knows how good they are. I'm probably not going to be ordering from there today. What I fancy doing is getting a mixed grill, and we'll see how the cookery is on some of those items. Not always the easiest thing to get right, is it, a mixed grill? So I think that's what I'm going to go for. Anyway, I'm going to get myself an order in, and we'll see how it goes, shall we? So as I alluded to earlier on, this place has got a 3.1 rating on Google, and it's pretty much the lowest I can find in all of Dorset. I'll pop some of the reviews up around me here so you can have a little look and see what some of them are all about. Suffice to say, most of them are about either small portions, long wait times, low quality food, not great service, a whole range of different complaints really. I've got to say, so far, it doesn't seem that bad to me now. The service has been okay as it is. Obviously it's not table service here. You go at the bar to order, and the people have been friendly enough so far. No issues there at all. I mean, obviously it's not very busy right now, and that helps. Be interesting to see how long it takes for my lunch to come. So let's get on to what I've ordered here. So I've gone with a mixed grill, like I said. Asked for that steak to be cooked medium. We'll be interested to see how that comes out. I've gone for a peppercorn sauce on the side and a regular lime and soda. Now those aren't expensive. The mixed grillers come in at £16.19, and I'll talk you through what's on there when it comes. The peppercorn sauce is an additional £1.79, and the regular lime and soda just £1.45. Running guys, so my food has been brought out to me, the mixed grill. Let's have a little look through what's on it, shall we? Now, first things first, the fried eggs that were on top of all the meat here look cooked very, very nicely. It looks like the yolks are going to be nice and runny, and I like that. The chips are just bog standard frozen kind of things, but with skin on, so not too bad. The tomato has been grilled a little bit, but I don't think cooked enough through for my liking. The sausages don't look the best, it has to be said, but I'll show you them a bit closer in a second. But what's really concerning me at the moment, if I move these eggs out of the way onto the chips, so what we've got here is half a chicken breast, which looks pretty dry. We have the gammon, which kind of looks okay, quite a big piece of fat on there. It doesn't look too bad. But I'm a little bit worried about this 4-ounce rump steak. Now, you'll have seen the steak I had at Hawksmoor not so long ago, which was a 8-9 ounce rump. That was about 5 times the size of that. If that's 4 ounces, I'm a blooming, well, I don't know what I am. This is something I'm not. We've got 2 onion rings here and some peas as well, just little garden peas. Look like they've been freshly cooked though, not hanging around for too long, so that, you know, it looks a mixed bag. It does look a mixed bag. We've got some peppercorn sauce here on the side. It's a very little jug. Probably a bit too much though still for the size of that steak. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut open the steak and we'll have a look in the middle of it now. As you know, I asked for this to be cooked medium. I have got a steak knife to help me cut through it. I think that's just about right, isn't it? Maybe a touch over medium, but not a million miles away. I generally find when you come into places that aren't a steakhouse, medium is a safe bet on how to order your steak. You ask for it rare, it probably won't be cooked. So, best to sort of err on the side of caution. Let's give it a little try though. A bit chewy. The flavour of it's okay. Like I say, just a little on the chewy side. It's not the greatest quality piece of meat. It's not cut in particularly easily. But, I mean, yeah, I wasn't expecting a Hawksmoor quality steak here, even a Miller and Carter quality steak. Let's dip it into this peppercorn and see how that is. So it's reasonable kind of consistency, I suppose. It's clinging onto the steak okay. A very harsh peppery taste. Yeah, I think the peppercorns in there need a little toning down. I mean, I like a lot of pepper in my sauces. That is quite a harsh flavour. So if we look at this gammon here, so what we've got here, this is just a great big piece of fat from one side of it. Plus we also have a great big piece of fat on the top of it. So all of that there is just fat. So we'll put that to one side and I'll show you what that leaves us. Not the biggest piece of gammon you've ever seen, is it? But it kind of looks okay. So again, let's give this a try. See how it cuts. Cuts through okay with the steak knife. Looks nice and moist inside. Not a lot of flavour to it though. You expect a sort of nice hit of sort of salty, bacony kind of taste. I'm getting some flavour from the charcoal on the outside of it, where it's been griddled, but yeah, the meat itself doesn't taste of an awful lot. Chicken. Like I said, when I picked this up, my immediate thought was it looked a little dry. Here we go. and it is very dry. I think I need a little sip of the old lime and soda to help that go down. That is just overcooked. Let's try it with the peppercorn sauce, see if that moistens things up a little bit, makes it a little easier to get down. It does a little, but the mouthfeel of it is just all wrong. You know, we've all been through Christmas not so long ago. Some of us will have been subjected to dry turkey. Now I'm being subjected to dry chicken. Before we start on the sausages and the tomato, I'm going to open up these eggs. So, let's say on first glance, they look quite nice and runny. Yeah, the yolk on there is fine. This one's a little more done. But they're okay. They're both plenty of runniness in them. Let's try that. See how the flavour is. Pretty bland. Not. I know it's a strange thing to say, but it's an egg without much eggy flavour. I didn't notice on the menu whether this was supposed to be like a free-range egg or just a farmed egg or not. In fact, we'll take a quick look while I'm here. Because I've got to say, it's really not a very tasty egg. It just says 2 fried eggs. So I think we can safely say these are not free-range eggs. That's a shame. That is a shame. Let's go on to the sausage. There's 2 dinky little sausages on here. I mean, they're kind of... They look a bit like the ones I had at Denny's not so long ago, which worries me. But I'm guessing these are just going to be like a smaller breakfast sausage. Again, looks a little dry. And is... Oh, it's got a little pepperiness to it. But it's just dry in the middle. It's not a high quality sausage. I'm guessing there must be quite a high rusk content in there. And the flavour's not terrible. But again, it's the mouthfeel, it's the consistency of it. It's just dry. Right, let's go on to this tomato. Like I say again, first impressions were it was undercooked. And I can just feel that. Just by touching that with my knife. It's still too firm. It's not a salad. It's supposed to be a grilled tomato to go with the steak and the mixed grill. Disappointing. Disappointing. Right, onion rings. So we've got 2 here. They're not very big. I mean, this one's particularly little. That's a 1 biter, isn't it? Let's give that a try. That's obviously just come out of a freezer bag. It's a whole piece of onion in there, but it's doughy and it's greasy and it's quite unpleasant. Just the chips and peas to go. So, like I said, these are fairly standard fries. Nothing to write home about. A little bit crisp to them. But again, pretty bland. Normally with skin on fries you expect to get a bit more depth of flavour to them, don't you? Just bland. Bland, bland, bland. Peas. Now people will say peas are peas. I love peas, so I'm a little bit more critical about them than some people would be. These are actually alright. Not overcooked. Still got a little bite to them. Comes to something though. When you've got a mixed grill here and the thing you think is best on the plate is the peas. Dear oh dear. Right then folks, so the Brewers Fayre, the Lodmoor here in Weymouth. Low scores, the lowest scores I can find on the Google reviews anywhere in Dorset. And I gotta say, in terms of food quality, I can see why. Really quite disappointing that. Now, as I said before, I've come in at a time that's not very busy. They've got a children's play centre thing in there, so I guess at weekends and that, if that's open, it isn't today, with families and whatever coming out, let the kids have a run around. I can imagine it getting pretty busy in here. For me, the service was fine, although there was no check back to the table after I was brought my lunch to see if everything was okay. Lucky for them. But yeah, other than that, I think that the service I got from behind the bar and whatever, and being, told I can go and find any table I wanted and order, the guys in there were pleasant enough. Nothing exceptional, but pleasant enough. I think the restaurant itself was clean enough, apart from bits that aren't regularly cleaned. We showed you that little bit where there was some of the Christmas bits of tinsel or whatever stuck into the woodwork. That obviously hasn't been cleaned for a good while. Some of the upholstery in there, looking a little bit tired, could do with a refresh, that's for sure. But I guess, that's the kind of thing that will happen over time. It's a chain, and when things get grotty enough, they'll spend a few quid and sort those things out. But for now, they haven't quite got that bad, clearly. So, the food. I got the receipt here. The mixed grill was £16.19, the peppercorn sauce £1.79, the lime and soda £1.45. At least they're not taking the mickey on the price of that soft drink. A lot of places do, but I think £16.19 for that mixed grill, it's just not good enough. It's not good enough. I mean, alright, it's not an expensive meal, but it's more expensive than Spoons would be. And the quality just was not there at all. The steak itself was tasty enough, and it was cooked okay, but it was very, very small. I know it was only a 4-ounce steak. That wasn't even a 4-ounce steak. The gammon was fatty, but pretty tasteless. The chicken, bone dry. And all the things that go with it, aside from the peas, were pretty bland. The sausages were garbage. And the eggs, nicely cooked, but not free-range eggs, and I'm not happy with that. I don't think that's good enough, particularly when you're paying, over 16 quid for a very, very, very average, or maybe not even average, plate of food. I mean, a place that's not selling free-range eggs in this day and age, it's a bit behind the times, isn't it? The peppercorn sauce, again, just out of a packet, you can tell that, and not a very good one. Very, very harsh pepper. Didn't really complement anything, just overtook everything with that real kind of sharp, peppery taste that was just overpowering. Yeah, I've got to say, I'm not impressed. Not impressed at all. £17.98 for my lunch here. Bear in mind, it's just one course and a soft drink. So if you were to bring the family out, if you had a pudding, and there's 4 of you eating, you're probably going to end up spending best part of 100 quid on this. Yeah, like I say, not good enough. I can see why it's got the poor ratings. Look, just behind me here, there's a sign saying there's a 2-course Valentine's Day meal here. £16.99, 2-course Valentine's Day. If your beloved brings you here for Valentine's Day, my advice, get yourself a good solicitor. Because if this is what they think of you, well, they don't deserve you, that's for sure. What would I score it? Food quality, poor. But it's not the worst place I've eaten. It's not as bad as Denny's. It's not as bad as Longleat. I'd say maybe 1.5 out of 5. I think that's fair. Does it get Greeno's green light? No. Absolutely not. It's a red light. Not even an amber light. Yeah, I can't recommend coming here at all. Maybe if you just want a really, really cheap meal and you want that £5 menu, that's fair enough. I don't know how good that will be. I mean, I've paid 3 times that for my meal. It was rubbish. So, yeah, definitely one to avoid, I'm afraid. Brewer's Fayre, Lodmoor, Weymouth. No, thank you. Well then, guys, if you've enjoyed this video and like the sort of idea of me going around looking at places which haven't scored so well online and seeing whether that's justified or not, sometimes these online reviews can be a little bit misleading, can't they? Yeah, if you'd like to see more of this from when I'm out travelling the country, I'll see if I can pick a few out. Almost like I'm going to make a little mini series of it. the worst of, or something along those lines. But yeah, if you'd be interested to see some of that content, let me know. I'm probably not going to be going to places that are like reviewed bad for hygiene, because, you know, I don't want to die. But yeah, I don't mind checking some of these places out, because I'm sure some of them have unfairly got their reputation. And it's always good to point out the places you should avoid as well as the places you should go to. Anyway, like I say, if you've enjoyed this video, click a thumbs up on there for me. And if you'd like to see more of this content, hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comment section below. Right, where am I off to next? Hopefully somewhere better than this. I will see you then. Bye for now.